What is up, everyone? This is Karim. I decided to change the format a little bit today and try and do a narrated role for you guys. So, for those who don't know us, Sean and I, we live in Discovery Bay in Hong Kong and we love Jiu-Jitsu, so we train together quite often. The format I'm using for today is a narrated role, so I'll be commenting on the role. And from time to time, jiu-jitsu can be a little bit clunky and a little bit slow. So during those moments, I'll just accelerate the roll so that we don't waste any time and you just get to see the highlights. So without further ado, let's get started. So here we go. This is at my house in Discovery Bay in Hong Kong. And we slap and bump, and Sean has a really good footlock, so I have to be really, really careful with his straight footlock. He's also been working on the high ground system quite a bit. So here I try to go from half guard and back into a footlock, but he knows my game really well. He's really hip to it. And so here I get stuck in his guard. I think he tries for kind of a triangle, but I have both my hands inside, so it's not going to happen. And then we go to a front headlock. And I'm pretty aware of the fact that he's just going to try and toss me over and go for the high ground here. He's been working on that quite a bit, so I know that ties into his game really well. I'm fighting the hands, trying to get my head out, trying for a little arm drag here. I think I'm talking to him, a little bit of trash talking and saying, no, Sean, it's not happening today. Just a little bit playful. I like this front headlock with the knee on the head. I think this creates a lot of opportunities. So I've been playing around with this quite a bit. It makes life difficult for the person who's defending. Sean's really flexible, really strong, so he has good defense against most of my stuff. So here I'm trying to take his back, trying to get the hooks in, and he immediately enters my legs and finds himself almost in outside ashi. I can't let that happen, because he's very good from outside ashi, and I'm already in trouble. No, I need to get my foot on the mat right now. Quick, and then he transitions to the back here almost, or maybe like a short Achilles from the back, and then tries to take my back here. I'm feeling a little bit better about this because he doesn't have outside ashi anymore. So I'm happy to be out of the situation. Didn't want to get caught in a footlock at the very beginning of the roll. So a little bit of hand fighting, and I totally missed the snap down, and I get caught in the front headlock again. And here we go. This is the high ground system, and I'm just going to be not allowing him to catch me in any Das chokes or any triangles, reverse triangles from here. And I think here we spend quite a bit of time in this position, so I accelerated all that for you guys. Makes jiu-jitsu a lot more watchable. And here I have a little bit of space for wrestling sit out, but he's super tight with the side body lock, giving me a little bit of trouble. Managed to make enough space to recover my guard, and okay, we're out. And a little bit playful today. Again, heavy on the collar ties, heavy on the snap downs. And now I get top head position, and I definitely want to be playing this position with him. So I try for an arm in guillotine here. I miss having my other leg on the far hip. Managed to toss him over, and I guess I'm going to work for a Das choke, maybe a short Das like Makachev, or a normal long Das, but Sean is defending his neck pretty well. And then I fall into a Japanese necktie, which is horrible, but his neck's pretty strong. But he frees his foot and gets out of it. So well done, Sean, for avoiding that. I think that's probably pretty close. And then I'll spend a bit of time trying to pass from half guard, using a little bit of the Joseph Chen pressure passing. You'll see this position a lot where he's inverting to stop me from passing. So he'll get a leg in between from half guard and invert. And here we are. Now I get stuck in his close guard. This might go on for a little bit, so fast forward. And he's been playing the 10th planet system from full guard quite a bit. I think he caught me in an armbar, but I managed to stack and get out. So now I'll be looking to pass to the side again. And then he's coming up for a single, a little bit of a scramble. Get to half guard, guillotine, trying to get him in a guillotine. This is pretty interesting. He went for an underhook and I just stepped over it, get him in that sort of near omoplata position. And in mount he recovers well here, but I do have an underhook, which is favorable for me. Choose to work with a wrist spin here, and back to passing half guard. I think a lot of the roll is passing half guard, so try not to dwell on that too much. As you see my wife walking through, this is a roll at home, on the mats at home. So we slap and bump, reset. I'll be using a little bit of wrist spins and trying to make sure that I keep him on his back and not giving him top position. So I'll accept close guard and play possum a little bit, let him get tired. Sean is 10 years younger than me. He's really strong, really flexible. So here he goes for the 10th planet kind of stuff. And I guess he's trying to get one of my arms to the mat. So this is going to go on for a little while. And eventually we end up still in half guard, but I guess there's some action. I try for a row drag, which is where I catch his wrist and try and pass it across. I use this kind of wrist pin pass, and here there's a leg staple, so I'm trying to staple his leg and move his other leg up. So splitting the legs is always a good way to pass guard, especially against a really strong player like Sean. Sean's a brown belt. He's probably going to get his black belt soon. And then a little hop over pass there. And then we get side control, but he's not letting me get head control. So we're stuck in side control for a while. Then he's coming up in the octopus guard. I'll try and take his back and not let him come up. But he shoves me into the sofa. Reset, slap and bump. Trying to pass for a little while. And let's see where we go. Okay, so here, shin, split the legs again. And I guess the game here is to apply a lot of pressure and either pass to the outside or pass through the middle. Sean's doing a good job of blocking the inside avenue. He's got a collar tie. I think he should be framing actually, and I get side control again. So I'm having some success today passing his guard. I guess usually that's not the case. Sean's usually the one who seems to be getting more of the top pressure game. But he does a beautiful inversion here to capture the outside ashi position. And now I'm in trouble again. Definitely want to get out of here. Don't want him to footlock me. Happy to stumble out of there. Definitely an issue. He's laughing because he knows that he's close to catching me from those positions. That's what he usually does. So here, taking an angle with kind of 2-on-1 from the top. So I like pinning the wrists to his chest to stop him from getting underhooks and getting grips. And then here we're stuck in side control, nearly side control. That overwrap grip here, not really stabilized, but a solid kind of north-south position, which is okay. And see, he's so flexible. He's still trying to recover from there, which is something that I absolutely can't do. And he does indeed recover. So well done, Sean. Keeping inside position, even inverted. And I'm trying to pin the wrist here. This is a pass I love to do. Pin the wrist to the leg and then just go negative. So we reset to the middle because we're getting close to the window. So from this negative position here, there's a little footlock that I like to do. I attack him, or there's the footlock, and I crank it a little bit because otherwise he won't tap. So I have to make it real. If I just gently grab it, Sean will not tap. So I had to make it real. Yeah. So here, grabbing the 2-on-1 from the side, trying to get angles on Sean again, and trying to, I guess, step over the guard with a cross step. Making it to the back with no hooks in. So if we have no hooks here, I can try and kind of drag him back with the seat belt and go for that little neck cranky kind of move. But I guess so this is kind of uncomfortable for him, but he slips out. And here we're stuck in this scramble for a little while, similar half guard scramble. Okay. So yeah, I'm trying to get the near hook in, but he's inverting and have to be careful not to fall into a leg entanglement. And there he goes. He doesn't have my knee line, but look at that move. He recovered my knee line, so now I'm in a lot of trouble. But I managed to use my other foot to escape. That was close. So very nice move from Sean there to recover my knee line. Tries to invert with an Imanari roll. Again, I'm just going to bail for now. I'm not trying any counters today. just being a little bit careful. I haven't rolled with Sean for a couple of weeks, so trying to kind of understand what he's doing. And then now I have to play bottom. But I'm just happy to be out of there. Slap and bump again. Collar ties for both. Trying to find inside position. Trying to get top position here with the head and arm. He's got an underhook. And we managed to bend him forward a little bit. I could try and play high ground on him, but he's hip to it. Trying to find a reverse triangle doesn't work out for me. And having to deal with all his inversions. Just maintenance, maintaining guard, maintaining wrist pins. And the same pass again, catching his wrist, pinning it to his leg, and going negative. It's such a great pass. If you need to see it again, just rewind. It's a really great pass. Maybe there's a Kimura there. I'm fighting for Kimura, but he just reverses the position. And so I have nothing. And now I'm stuck at the bottom, which is exactly what I wanted to avoid. I'm trying to play top game against Sean because he knows my half guard all too well. And he passes it like a knife through butter. So I have to be really careful. So I'm not super happy here. Then I end up in front headlocks and his whole high ground system. So I'm going to use a bit of wrestling here to get up to a top pin, just following his choke, following the guillotine all the way around. And we kind of have an opportunity for a Von Flue choke here. I need to capture his head as well and catch my hands together. But he still has his knee wedged in, so it's a little bit difficult. So I have the lock for the Von Flue choke here. I'm applying pressure to his neck, but his knee is still wedged in, so I don't think I'm going to get this. And I get stuck back in full guard. Still in a guillotine, and I need to roll out of there using the same roll, and I end up in the same position where he still got my neck again, but this time I think I cleared the leg. So now that I've cleared the leg, I can actually get the Von Flue. I need to capture his head with my right arm. He's not letting me get the head though, so I don't think I'm going to get the Von Flue choke. So instead I decide to shin pin his arm. And with this shin pin, I have a pretty steady side control. It's very difficult as the bottom player to get out when your arm is pinned. Yeah, so he manages to go to turtle. I'm trying this kind of neck roll here, putting pressure with my right shoulder on his neck, but Sean's not moving. So then I go for a foot lift, try and roll him over, drive forward. A little bit of a mistake on my part. I should keep my weight on him. But his inversions are so chaotic that I'm very wary of just being on his back, and especially leaving my legs for him to grab. So now I'm using a knee pin, get through the guard again. Playing a safe game against Sean because I just respect his game a lot. I know how dangerous he is. And so here just keeping top controls, making it difficult for him. He's still not tired at this point, so it's difficult to go for submissions. I mean, I know I got the cuff submission earlier, but that's just a cheeky, naughty move. And so here we're finding ourselves in 3/4 mount. We need to free that leg, keeping a solid base. I need to be very aware of his recovery from here. So here with underhooks, working with my probably right hook to free the left leg. Pretty classic pass. And I have to be careful about Sean, like getting his elbow knee escape. So probably I want to work with a crossface or with my hand on the mat to stop him from turning, but his bridge is just too strong. Puts me back in 3/4 mount, and I'm using the crossface, but I'm stuck in 3/4 mount again. I think I put a big squeeze on the head and arm choke here. Big squeeze. I burned my arms out and did not get the tap. It was close. I would say it was pretty close, maybe 80%, but Sean's super solid. And then he's shaking me off his back here. I'm using the hooks. Difficult to slide me off because I've got underhooks. And then I see an opportunity, I think, for a Suloev stretch. So I grab that leg. This is horrible for Sean. Absolutely horrible spot. But look at how flexible he is. I don't even know if this was close to a tap or not. I just know it's a horrible submission. And we go back to head and arm control, at which point I'm extremely tired because he's just defended everything I threw at him. This is a long roll. Bear in mind we're rolling for 45 minutes straight, and now I'm caught in his guard. He's going to throw this 10th planet rubber guard system at me, and I'm trying to kind of body lock sort of pressure pass to the side. I think I get through eventually. So here I'm catching the far leg. I need to clear the foot that's inside my hip right now, and we managed to do that. Back to side control. It's been a bit miserable for Sean. I'm just literally trying to pin him. He's using his hand to jailbreak here, and I'm aware of it, so I'm trying to clear the jailbreak every time. Jailbreak is when you grab your own foot and try and reguard by grabbing your own foot. You can see it. So step over to mount. Trying from here to maybe isolate an arm, get a wrist pin, get a triangle. That's not working. Maybe take the back. Back or triangle are going to be my go-to moves from there. Go for a triangle. I need to isolate an arm, but he swims the other hand inside very well. And I'm back to trying to pass half guard, which is going to take forever. So let's just fast forward through that. So here we are. And Sean's trying for a triangle of his own here. And I don't know what happened here. I think he just flipped maybe the wrong way, or seems to be a little bit tired maybe, which is a good thing. I like when Sean gets tired. So back to mount again, pinning the wrist. And trying to sink a choke or an arm lock on him. I guess we're resetting in the middle. Okay, so from the mount position, I'm going towards the back. I'm using the elbow grab to stop him from turning, but he's like bucking and bucking and bucking, and it's difficult. So now I see an opportunity to take an arm, go shin on his neck. We have the inverted armbar. I think Sean should focus on defending this armbar here. I don't think he respected the armbar very much. Just stepped over it like it didn't happen, and the armbar's still on. So he taps to the armbar because he thought it's such a... It's probably quite an easy armbar to defend, so he didn't give it much credit, but decided to just kind of ignore it, I think, instead of giving it the credit it deserved and really getting out of it. Okay, so back in this high ground system, and I try and sit back for a heel hook. Sean's using his feet to stop me from catching the heel. This is a heel hook I try and sit back into quite a bit, but Sean's hip to it. And then here there's, I'll go for a little knee bar from the guillotine setup, and oh, the knee bar worked. Again, it was pretty tight. I just have to make sure that it's a real threat, otherwise Sean will not tap to it because he's ultra resistant. So I tried to sit back for a heel hook for the second time in this role, and Sean, again, knowing my game really well, just defended it. So not having much success sitting back for the heel hook from outside Ashi. Again, getting to this whole like 10th planet kind of leg over. I think he's trying to isolate my arm. I'm not too sure what he's trying to do here. I have to say I'm not very well versed in 10th planet stuff because I'm not super flexible, but when people throw it at me, I can acknowledge how dangerous it is. Here I was very close to tapping. I needed to peel that hand off. Oh, this was close. Very, very close. Like I was in a really tight choke / submission. So here he's going to omoplata, but my hand's on the wrong side. Right side for me, wrong side for him. So no real threat there. And then just working here. I think he's going for some kind of bicep slicer, but it's not really... I'm not too worried about this. I can straighten my arm. I can peel his hand. It's not really anything there. So back to top position. Again, trying for that inverted pass where I pin the wrist to his hip. Oh, sitting back to outside Ashi again. Will I get it this time? Oh, yep, this time I got it. So third time lucky. This is a move I've tried twice already. Sitting back from half guard. One of my favorite moves. Sitting back from half guard and catching the heel for outside Ashi. This throw over here was inspired by a standing knee tap. So when you're standing and you get an underhook, you can knee tap. So we're on our knees, and I decided to do the same thing. I had an underhook and I just knee tapped him forward and managed to get kind of a takedown. Okay, now he's trying to go reverse half guard. No, this is reverse full guard, and I absolutely don't want to be there because then I'm stuck in a full guard and he's got access to my feet. And here I think that I can get my knee to the ground to escape the heel hook, but because of the way the legs were configured, there was no way for me to spin. Oh, and I think this is the end of the roll. And I say, I'm cooked, I'm done. This is after 45 minutes. And Sean, cheeky Sean, just takes top position on me. And I'm like, man, I'm done. I'm cooked. Let's stop now. And he's like, no. There's 1 minute on the clock. You're not getting away that easy. I think he's fired up because he just got his first tap there. And then now he locks a knee bar on me. And the toe hold for a cheeky last minute tap. Sean gets 2 taps at the very end there, getting his sweet little revenge. And then he lets me off the hook and says, okay, we can stop now. So this is a 45-minute roll, condensed by fast forwarding a little bit. If you like this format of narrating rolls, please let me know in the comments. Then I'll post more of those so that you guys can understand. If you'd like me to slow the video down and maybe like rewind and showcase details, put some arrows to try and explain what we're doing a little bit better, then I can do that too. Either way, thanks for watching. We're just a small group in Discovery Bay, Hong Kong, who love jiu-jitsu and love to train. Obviously, we're not world-class competitors, but we are really passionate about the sport. So Sean's an awesome guy, really good friend, great training partner. If you have a good training partner, make sure you respect them, train with them all the time, and practice a lot. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.